As you can see in the title, today we're gonna talk about Beyblade Burst. Well, Xeno Excalibur just got an X-Over release, and out of a lot of people, I think it's pretty 50-50. Some people think it looks kinda some people is really happy how good it looks. Look at Beyblade Burst, they're like 34 grams, and the main gimmick is of course they can burst open. Well, that leads to a big problem. So first up, it got really lightweight. You can barely have it battle even the lightest Beyblade from the X generation, and let alone Metal Fight, which is like unburstable. Plastic Gen, it's too easy to break those plastic pieces. So now if you look at it, there's the X version of Plastic Gen, and it resembles pretty alright, but if you look at it, there's not really a way you can play throughout different generations. Like, yeah, a lot of YouTubers does like, oh, HMS Battle X Series, BBBU Beyblade versus Metal Fight, all that stuff. Metal Fight versus X, but when it comes to cross-generation playing, you barely can play like early generation Burst Beyblades or Plastic Gen Beyblades with X version. So if you look at this, I have it at the stock combo, right, with the Magnum and then that rubber driver I forgot the name of, but yeah, just burst it open like that. You can barely play it. So if you really wanna play it, there's a few ways. Like you can use the dash driver, you can put a heavy disc, but then the original design is gone. Like, if I'm being honest, although Burst Generation is not too fun to play with compared to Metal Fight in terms of strategic or like launching styles, at least for me, Beyblade Burst early stages has probably the best gimmick ever. They got like suction cup Beyblades, bouncing blades, rubbers, all these like one-hit KO. Like even Burst is, you know, innovating a lot of Beyblade X concept, like Dread Buster, we got Wizard Rock, all that stuff. And if you have been watching the video in the background, yeah, it basically never won, even if I launch it like 5-10 seconds later. So what I did is like, okay, let me put a heaviest metal disc that doesn't really change the shape, and I put a dash driver on it. Now it's borderline playable with other generation, and of course you may say, oh, they're not meant to play with each other, but who doesn't want to mix up Beyblade when they play? Like, I personally think Beyblade is all about creativity. That's why you can switch parts. That's why people 3D print parts. And after switching to Will and I think this is XL Dash, well, now you can play a little bit. You can probably battle some Metal Fusion as well, but then it loses main gimmick. So I'm really glad X-Over project happened, because not only now you can have it battle against X Beyblade, technically it's pretty good to fight against even Metal Fight. Although you can use the gear system, the bit still works out pretty well. It's slightly taller, yeah, but come on. Whoever thought you can have a Drancer battle like a Diablo Nemesis out of nowhere, right? So it's pretty cool. I really super glad there is X-Over project, although it deforms the Beyblade a little bit. Like, look at it, if I have to play like this, like every time I have a cool blade I need to put a wheel disc and a dash driver, there's a lot of fun running away. And even I put a DIY X-Bit like super glue to a driver that I made, it barely works. So I just want to say, like, X-Over project really saved the Beyblade like generation legacy, and really glad this is happening, or else in this lifetime I probably can't play Cyborg Excalibur with all the fun I had, because it's how light it is in the early generations.